Today's horoscope from Astrocademy, Scorpio July 10, 2022. This period should bring something new into your life, even if you are not someone who really doesn't go crazy over the latest fashion crazes. You may not be into fads, but you have to admit that you can't refuse all kinds of modernity in your life, and just hang on to your old habits. In fact, it's time to take a good look at what actually makes you tick. You were raised to respect everyone in life. Your heart has always been listening to the needs of others, and you love mankind. Today, you will wonder if you want to be a leading figure in this world. Whatever you decide, you should try to keep in mind the values you feel so strongly about. Today you might find yourself outvoted. At work, you might have a strong opinion about something. You could be insisting that a project be handled your way. But more powerful voices than yours could gain control. Your boss or an influential client could have the deciding vote in the situation. They might decide to go in another direction. So try to yield gracefully, and don't take this personally as some sort of defeat. You may want to think about taking a more judicious approach to your shopping sprees. Try allowing yourself to spend the afternoon looking and trying on, but postponing any actual expenditures for a few days. This way you will have time to reflect on whether or not you really want and need those items. This could help to cut out a lot of hasty spending. Your pocketbook will certainly be fatter and happier. Your thoughts have seldom been so lucid and in harmony. Problems with relationships that seemed insurmountable just a short time ago are now resolved without further arguments. The time has come to revive personal bonds. Enjoy this phase and experience life with other people. The memories will last for a long time. It might feel as if you've just given up, but don't misinterpret this new passivity as anything other than just a short phase. You need some rest before you move on with your plans for hot global dominance. Don't be surprised by certain situations and dating opportunities that crop up. There's plenty to contemplate and consider in the coming weeks before you make any decisions. Think about how you want to allow your heart to be directed. Showing good sense assures time spent isn't wasted and for nothing. You might come up with some surprising ideas today. You may find yourself filled with energy and a desire to express it creatively. Maybe you will begin writing down a thought, and before you know it, you'll have written a short story. Or you could decide to fit flamenco classes into your weekly schedule. Don't hesitate to indulge your creative urges. You may discover some hidden talents. Your sense of responsibility will be stronger on this day, especially when it comes to family. You are apt to be well known for your ambition. And you are known for your tendency to push yourself beyond the limits. Perhaps it would be wise to give yourself a break, and to feel good about all you do. Take some time to make plans for the day. Even if you have to work, this evening can see you sharing company with your family. The channels of communication may be full of static for you today. Perhaps your zodiac tendencies will inspire you to blame others for being too fierce in defending their convictions. However, oddly enough, you are likely to find yourself being just as vehement when you present your own point of view. Why hold to this course? Find another positive means of expression, gentler, quieter. You'll find that you are more readily heard. As the Sun moves into his final 2 weeks in an adventurous part of your chart, he is also drawing closer to not only his return to your career sector by the day, but with Mercury now just 9 days away. Having begun the week with the Moon having just left your career sector, and with the remaining 3 planets in your work sector regrouping after Mars left earlier in the week, there is a growing call to embrace the spirit of adventure. While life isn't in danger of becoming all work and no play, this is still something you need to work at. In between a clash with Mars, still in his early days in your relationship sector yesterday, and with other planets there tomorrow, there is a chance to pause. As the Moon continues its first visit to Scorpio since Mars returned to fire things up on the relationship front, this is a chance to go into this with an understanding of what you want from your relationships and what they need from you. Our eyes in the sky. Today is the third time Mercury and Neptune have squared off over the past few months. The first time was on May 22nd, setting the tone, and the tension, for Mercury's retrograde that started on May 29th. The second time these two planets squared off was on June 5th, during the height of Mercury's retrograde. Paranoia, anxiety, and uncertainty could heighten. Mercury is in its post-retrograde shadow until tomorrow, so it's important to realize that we may not hear or understand the whole truth of some situations. This is a very sensitive astrological aspect, which could make people assume the worst. Depression and friction could rise, and the chance of projection is high, so be careful not to soak up other people's sentiments. Be kind and compassionate, and don't take your bad moods out on others. If people come at you with drama, you can opt to disengage. Take care of yourself and put your needs first. Tonight, Venus in Leo opposes Saturn retrograde in Aquarius. This could make us feel insecure, as though others are ignoring us. Don't worry about what people are doing and feeling. Only focus on how you're feeling. Give yourself an emotional lift by implementing self-care in your routine to help you feel better. If you are awake before the sun, treat yourself like royalty by staying in your cozy bed. Or if you're up early, treat yourself to an elaborate breakfast, ideally made by someone else. There's an early morning Moon-Jupiter opposition that can transmit good feelings and the desire to be super generous and kind, but the more nice gestures you make, the more attention you get, which is something that you probably won't want during this aspect. You like doing things for others now because it makes you feel good, not because you want to be recognized for it, and the more thanks you get, the more it actually lessens your experience. But don't try to overcomplicate things too much now. Just after midnight, Mercury in Scorpio squares Neptune in Pisces. We have one more day to go before Mercury completes its post-retrograde shadow, and as it aspects the planet of illusion and delusion, the cosmic messenger seems determined to pack one final punch. Our interactions are confusing and subject to misunderstandings. We are liable to only hear what we want to hear and see what we want to see. Our imagination might lead us into blissful territory, only to dissolve into disappointment when the rose-colored glasses inevitably come off. This is a bad time for giving or receiving advice, which means we would also do well to avoid metaphysical consultations. Even if we receive a cohesive message from a reader, we will filter it through our own optimistic projections, skewing its intended impact. In the evening, the Scorpio moon sextiles Venus in Leo, a good time to lounge with friends and socialize. Although the confusion of the day might linger into the night, there's no reason to keep ourselves isolated if we are aware of the pitfalls of over-idealism. We can certainly get a lot out of our interactions with others now, especially in relaxed conversation. Remember that avoiding gossip and being upfront in our interactions will limit the risk of misinterpretation and invite in goodwill.